You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith. The interview subject I have coming up for you is Adam Darski. He plies his trade under the pseudonym Nergal, or Nergal, one of the two. That means he's the fella from Behemoth and Me and That Man. He's a bit like Phil Anselmo in that I'd been looking forward to having a conversation with him for many years, so here it is. Another one I really enjoyed and got some goosebumps through, I must say. The reason for the conversation is that Behemoth are appearing on the Australian leg of Download. There are two dates, Saturday 9th of March they're in Sydney, and Monday the 11th of March they're playing in Melbourne. And then there are two dates that they're playing with Slayer and Anthrax. On the 7th of March, which is tomorrow night, they're playing River Stage in Brisbane, and on the 13th of March they're playing at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. One's not to be missed if you're an Australian listener, because these will be Slayer's final shows, I'm led to believe. But here he is, Adam Darski.
Hello.
That's it. Gotcha. How you going?
It's going, man.
It's going well, mate. It's going well. You must be... I consider you my version of Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds, in that I've had a few near misses insofar as an opportunity to have a conversation with you has sort of come and gone, and... yeah, mate, I wasn't going to miss this opportunity to chat to the great Adam from Behemoth and Me and That Man. So thank you very much for making yourself available, mate.
Yeah, sure, man. Sure, I'm happy to talk, and I'm very excited about just being back here. So, absolutely.
Cool, mate. Cool. So you're here in Australia at the moment, of course, because you've got these shows, and you're playing Download, but you've also got some, I wouldn't call them side shows. You've got these massive events happening with Slayer and Anthrax, specifically here in Brisbane. So, are you going to be playing a different set for the Download crowd than you'll be playing for the people who watch you when you perform with Slayer and Anthrax?
No, I don't think so. We have the same time, which is 45 minutes, I believe. So we're going to stick to the same set list.
Okay, is that going to be a mix of old favourites and some of the new stuff from I Loved You at Your Darkest?
Yeah, you can say so. I mean, we won't be playing much of like the old stuff. I mean, it's getting tougher and tougher, to pick the right songs and to make it we're doing some Satanica, some Evangelion, of course, and not. I mean, the Satanists too, but since we did the whole Satanist run, we don't. I mean, it feels like I already killed that record, So
Yep.
I mean, it for me it feels boring to be playing these songs, So I need to give them some time, to until I love them again, and of course, there's gonna be 2, maybe 3 songs from the recent record. So I mean, you can't really satisfy everyone, and there's always people bitching, because there's always fans of like certain periods of your band, okay? And it's like, well, I mean, I'm other than, of course, I'm trying to please people, because I'm an entertainer, but I'm also trying to have a good time myself too, So
yeah.
I need to make it like flawless and smooth and enjoyable for myself in the first place, actually, because if I'm not happy, you won't be happy watching me.
Look, I'm a musician and I understand exactly where you're coming from, because I play covers songs, so I'm playing Brown Eyed Girl and all that sort of rubbish, but people love it. People love it, right? But I've got to put in a few things for me, like why do I like to play Aeroplane by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because I'm a bassist, that sort of thing. Now, the crowd doesn't get off on it that much, but by God, do I like playing it, so it's 1 for me and 10 for them. That's generally how I look at it.
All right.
Hey, let's have a chat about I Loved You at Your Darkest, because it was one of the Form albums in 2018, and I did read a lot of the reviews, and I thought overall it was favourably reviewed. And two key thoughts that I came away with after really thoroughly listening to the album. Okay, so Ecclesia Iabolica Catholica, the solo that starts at 2:16, to me that represents where you could potentially take the band moving forward, because you are an excellent guitarist. You're like Ishan, and in that you can do it all. You can do it all. But do you think you'll do a bit more shredding on albums coming up, or is that something that is yet to be decided?
It's way too early to to be discussed. It's just, I don't know. We're like with every record, we have a different approach, and it's a different approach here, and it was a different approach with the Satanists and so on and so on. So it's hard to say, and it's way too early to judge. I'm more into creating a certain atmosphere for the record than thinking, oh, let's show off here, let's show off there. No, I'm more a song kind of guy. The older I am, the more I'm song kind of guy, really. Yeah. And I think you can hear it, and I love to Darkest. It's a very song-based record, and it's even more song-based than the Satanist was. And that's what I like, So I'm thinking, we'll be moving towards that direction. But then again, I don't know if maybe it's gonna go more like, I don't know, crazier again and just more radical.
Yeah.
But then what I like to do, I like to diverse stuff, I like to, I like the opposites, I like, when something's like really crazy and brutal, I like to level it out with something that is mellow, okay? And also my experience, and that's what people like pointed out really when listening to I Love You to Darkest, is that me and that man must have had some impact on that record, and that's true. I'm not saying this is a blues country record, because it's still a pretty fucking radical album, and it's massive and it's heavy as fuck and so on and so on. But me and that man just opened me up for new experiences and new. I'm just more. It just encouraged me to do other stuff. Okay, so, and I think you can definitely hear it on I Love You to Darkest, and I'm happy with it. I'm honestly happy with it.
Yeah, no, great, and you should be, mate, because it is an accomplishment, and I think the cut specifically that I could hear a lot of the influence from me and that man was Botebel, because I'm a massive Bauhaus fan, and I felt as though you channeled a little bit of what they did with the album In the Flat Field from 1980. But to your point about.
Wow.
Well, that's what I heard, and that's why it was probably my favorite Behemoth cut, to be honest, man.
Oh wow, that's amazing! I'm really happy, because with Botebel, it's always like with that kind of songs, is some kind of, there is a risk, when you make that kind of song. It's because there is we've never done a song that is alike, okay? And Botebel is definitely gonna stand out. But then in the end of the day, you never know, because it's unpredictable, if people gonna fucking take it or they gonna bury it. Like, oh, that's crap, that's shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, just take a look on some other bands, when sometimes they just come up with something, and when it's out, for some time, people think it's shit, and then, with time it just grows, and people, like, sometimes it's like 1 or 2, 3 decades, and people realize, oh, it's such a classic.
Yeah.
Or the opposite, So it's a risk, but that's exactly what makes our profession so exciting. I mean, I would fucking hate doing stuff that is so predictable and just follow a certain path just to get my pay and pay my bills. I would hate my life then, But with this approach that we accomplish again on I Love You to Darkest, is, still Behemoth, but it's adventurous. And personally, I love Botebel, and even in the studio when the vocals were not done, I didn't know exactly where we were going. So it was a very. It had this loose approach. I was like, shit, how I'm gonna approach it vocally, because I definitely don't want to scream over this. I don't want to kill that goth vibe of that song. Yeah. So I was like, shit. I need to do something else. And then I started fucking around with different vocal layers. And then when I did that, like just some work. I did some demos, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" It has this Bathory vibe to it, and it's something else. And I was like, "Shit!" I think I'm loving it, So I followed it, and Like now, I mean, live, it's people love that song. I mean, people love that song, and I love that song. So
Cool.
I'm really happy. Like, you know, I love True to Darkest is Behemoth 11 album. And I'm very happy with that record. I'm super proud of it, you know. But in the end of the day, I remember that's what one of Judas Priest guys said. In the end of the day, if like with every new record, if you can just take away one classic that's gonna stay in your set list for the next decades, you know that you've accomplished it.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult. Like the older you are, the more experienced you are, the more the bigger your back catalog is, the more difficult it is to bring something new to the table. Just look at Slayer or even Judas Priest or like any other band. It's like they always play the old stuff. So I'm really happy that you know, Blow Your Trumpets, Gabriel, or Father Said of Sound, and now Barzabel. These are the songs that we will probably be playing for another 10 or 20 years because people will want to hear them. So it's very satisfying.
Yeah, okay. Well, I really think that I'm really glad you brought up Me and That Man, actually, because I love that album. I still listen to that one. They're well after the review period, which is over 2 years ago now, if you can believe it. That's how long that album's been out. But here's what I said in my review. I said, Songs of Love and Death is an opportunity for fans of Behemoth and other nefarious heavy metal to branch out and explore new musical avenues guided by the hand of one of our very own statesmen. And of course, that's you. So what do you think about that comment there? Do you feel as though if people choose to really spend time with the album and get into it, metal fans and people who are into all sorts of extreme music, you can actually help them introduce them to musicians like Johnny Cash? Yeah.
That's what the record did. I mean, I was expecting more hate, and I was expecting more people being not very pleased with me singing or trying to sing. Depends how you see that. And but before anything, most of the people they realized that this is 100% Nergal, and this is 100% honest. And that's, you know, I mean, honesty is like number one factor, you know, when it comes to any artistry. And I'm still pretty happy with that record. Of course, you know, I would sing stuff better now because I, you know, got some more knowledge and I got some more experience. So I proved that on the next album because we're making it. But that was a very important time for me. I'm happy I did that. I mean, I would just hate. I mean, of course, you know, Behemoth is my mothership. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is my most precious child, and that's my priority. But then I would really hate to sum up my artistic life, you know, in one genre and in one band only.
Yeah.
I would feel like not like totally, like fully accomplished, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know that I have perfected my Behemoth-ish artistry. That's that word. And I know that we're pretty fucking solid. But I always ask myself, what if there's other genres that I can be good at? You know, why I'm not trying out? I should. Even if you fail, I mean, and it's a message, you know, when people ask me about stuff, you know, it's a message for other people too, you know. It can be sports, it can be crafts, it can be anything. But if you feel that you have some interest and hunger and in trying out new
styles of music and
or whatever, just do it.
Yeah.
If you fail, so what? You know, it's like you're not gonna die from it. Just do it, you know, because you never know. Maybe you try out, you know, and there's like a new adventure behind that, and that's gonna open up a whole new world for you.
Yeah. And something that I specifically picked up on with the Me and That Man review was that you'd swapped out your Hex 7 and ESP Eclipse guitars for a Gretsch White Falcon. Now, that must give you a lot of, say, artistic stimulus if you like playing a beautiful guitar like that. Not that the ESPs aren't, but the Gretsch White Falcon is a stunning guitar, but it does need a lot of care and attention, I know from experience. So did you find that holding a different guitar encouraged you to write different music?
Yep. And that's another story that is, I think I told it already, but the whole I Love You to Darkest was written on Gretsch as well.
I didn't know that. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. And that's what made this record what it is. And this record is more spacious, and there's more air in the riffs and in the songs. Or like Barzabel, I mean, the way I did it, I just used like the semi-acoustic guitar and White or Falcon, or the black version of it. It's not White Falcon because it's black. Right. I don't think it's called Black Falcon, but I love both. And I was just sitting on my sofa. I wouldn't even plug the guitar to any distortion pedal. I would just play like the semi-acoustic, whatever comes from the body. And that's how I made all the riffs for I Love You to Darkest, all of it.
Wow.
And
okay.
So sometimes when you hear like on Gallows 13, which is like all like fast picking, and I mean even this, I would just make this song on the Gretsch, but since if you're a guitarist, you know that you can't really shred on the Gretsch because you can't, because it's built for big chords. Yeah. So most of the stuff I would just do like a big chords, like brum brum brum, and this gives you like it just sounds bigger. I mean, of course, there's less shredding, less fast picking, less, but that's what it is, and that's that. Just to give you an example, the Satanist was made all the riffs on the Telecaster for the Satanist.
Holy moly! Okay, there you go.
Yeah, which is again, like one of the most metal guitars out there, and so is Gretsch. So I always try to fuck around with it. I'm like, let's try to play metal on the guitar that is not made for that, really, and maybe not even use a C sharp, just like a regular E. And I think that like for a few years now, I've been trying to. I've been trying to be one of my legs, still like be in that genre that I grew up with, which is extreme metal genre, and over the other leg just try out new new departments, so just explore new departments, and maybe even go back and just get some bluesy vibes and stuff like that. So just to get like an extra flavors. And bring them back to extreme metal and see if we can make it more exciting,
Yeah, well, you do that, I must say. You do make... I've got to say that I tuned out of black metal for a long time, and then I heard you guys around the Satanists, and it actually got me back into black metal. So you do that, whether you realise that or not. That is the impact that you're having on the heavy metal scene, if you like. And I must say that I think that you've really been... I mentioned it before about you being a statesman, but you've really... taken away, and you might not realise this, but I think a lot of people globally regard you as the foremost spokesman for black metal, because you are articulate, you're a Renaissance man, you've done things like you've opened up a business, so you've got Barbarian there in Warsaw, you've been on The Voice, you've penned a wonderful autobiography, which I've truly enjoyed reading, and you're also a brewer, because you've got a partnership there with Perrin Brewery, and of course you've got these musical outfits that you're doing. And I think black metal for a long time was in the shadows, and I think you've done a lot to drag it into the sunlight. So I really want to thank you for doing that.
I'm happy to hear that. I mean, there's you must be aware of the fact that there's a bunch of people who consider all that I've done as the most un-black metal thing ever. but in order to understand, I mean, one must really get his head out of the cave first, to see that the world can be very exciting and very inspirational, and if if you're, stick up your head in your ass, and just you stay there, it's just gonna get claustrophobic after a while. So no, it's not healthy.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. All right, I better let you get to the next one. It's been an honour and a privilege to finally talk to you, mate. So congratulations again on a stellar career, and long may you continue to do what you're doing. And really hope these shows here in Australia are good for you, mate, because I know the fans are waiting they're rabid fans, mate, that are waiting to see you guys perform. So I'm sure everything will go beautifully.
All right on, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
No worries, mate. All the best.
I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Cheers.
You have been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and that conversation featured Adam Darski, aka Nergal, or Nergal, from the outfits Behemoth, and Me and That Man. Thanks so much for listening.